we've been around and we've been leading the market with many, many innovations and generations of data and analytics on premises as well as in the cloud. There were data warehouses and data marts, then there was this thing called big data and Hadoop, and now all of it's in the cloud, and we're powering all of it.
You know, I think from a layperson, I remember the Bloomberg story when they talked about if you were streaming from Amazon Web Services,
right,
you were getting something from the cloud.
So if you were using Netflix, you were actually using an Amazon product.
Exactly, and we started learning about in terms of the cloud and like how all of that was happening. Talk to us in terms of how the cloud continues to evolve and how we are using it.
Yeah, the cloud first started with, I'm just going to deploy some servers and make it easy for people to put their applications on those servers. That was called IaaS. Then it became, well, I'm just going to build applications. You don't even have to worry about installing them. They're just applications. That's the whole SaaS moniker. All of it is driving agility.
Software as a service. For
exactly,
those
exactly. Software as a service. All of that is driving agility. All of that's driving it, making it easier for organizations to get the benefit of technology without having to install it, without having to manage it, and getting the latest, most innovative technology, because as technology providers, we're rolling out innovations on a monthly basis in the cloud. What we're doing is now powering data for organizations in the cloud. What we're doing is we're enabling organizations to drive their data, their analytics, their reporting as a service.
What are you hearing from these organizations in terms of what they want right now and what they expect? In 2022, what do they expect from analysis in the cloud?
Yeah, so the big problem and the amazing opportunity for us is there's literally zettabytes of data.
What is this? What contextualize that for us?
Exactly.
I'm guessing a lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros, and the important part is only about 4 to 5% of it is being used and delivering value. Data volumes keep growing, and the opportunity to derive insights is in analyzing as much data as you can. The opportunity to deliver a cross-sell, upsell promotional offer for an organization is based on hyper-personalization. It's based on how much data you have. It's based on the AI you're using against that data to make intelligent recommendations based on your buying preferences, on your buying preferences, and on my buying preferences. And that comes down to trusted data. That's what we deliver.
Are organizations increasingly thinking about my data dossier, Tim's data dossier, your data dossier? And, I mean, obviously very valuable, but then kind of who is the ownership of that, and then how do you use that going forward?
And a key element of trusted data is ensuring privacy, ensuring that the right data is used for the right purposes with the right consent. And that's an important, that we have 4 journeys that we empower for our customers. These are digital transformation journeys around analytics and AI, empowering their analytics initiatives, their AI, artificial intelligence initiatives, as well as around application integration and intelligent automation of business processes within the organization, what's referred to as digital. And then there's enabling them to transform their supply chains, enabling them to transform their customer experiences, enabling them to go digital and bring their products, and enabling us to shop for these products in e-commerce experiences.
Something that became so much in the demand if you think about the last 2 years between pandemic and supply chain snarls.
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. And to continue that thread, the last journey that's extremely important is data governance and privacy, making sure that we're enabling the consumption of this data within the Global 2000 and beyond, but with governance and the appropriate policies to consume.
Jitesh, we only have about 30, 40 seconds here. You have a degree in electrical engineering. My father was an electrical engineer. Are we producing enough engineers in society for the demand that's really needed? Just your thoughts on that.
We could always use more engineers. My father's an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'd love to see more engineers. I'd like to see more diversity in engineers as well, both from a demographic, geographic, as well as from a gender standpoint.
We do have a little bit of extra time with you, so I just want to get an idea of how it is attracting and retaining talent right now, especially with regard to, I mean, it's interesting because we've talked a lot about, in recent weeks, hiring freezes in Silicon Valley, startups it not being in an environment that they were in over the last few years where they're just flush with cash as venture capitalists tighten their belt. Are you starting to see it's actually easier to attract and retain talent, or is it still really hard for you to build out these teams?
It's an extremely competitive environment, but what I do want to emphasize is I'm hiring. So please, if there are talented folks looking, please visit our website and our career services page. I'm definitely looking.
That's a really
talent.
notable thing to hear right now, because we're hearing across the industry of hiring freezes, rescinded offers at Twitter, for example.
Well, it's funny. I was just over in Panama, and we did a big conference from Bloomberg Live and talking with the chief operating officer of dLocal. And she said one of the things that I said, what could we do to help entrepreneurship, the creation of unicorns and technology, around the world? And she said, we just need to be better in terms of education and steering a younger population. And she's talked specifically about engineering.
Yes, I couldn't, STEM in general, driving innovation.
One thing I wanted to ask you about in terms of just going back to data, because we talked earlier about on the broadcast about data dump, and data isn't useful unless you can work through it, make it productive. You guys think a lot about having this 360 degree of data. When we say something like that, what does that mean? Well,
there's 360 degree views to deliver context around data. Otherwise, it's just numbers, words. There's Jitesh. Well, Jitesh is what? A person. There's context about Jitesh. Well, Jitesh is Chief Product Officer at Informatica. That's now context. Jitesh has an electrical engineering degree. That's context. Jitesh enjoys hiking on the weekends with his 2 young boys. That's context. That's now building a 360 view. Jitesh has these buying preferences. Jitesh enjoys making oat milk lattes on the weekends. These are all...
It's kind of like a dating profile. I'm just going to say. Well, I'm just kidding.
There's professional 360 views, and what do you do with those 360 views? Well, if you're in the wealth management business, you understand their investment profile. You understand, you have householding information. You understand who their relationships are. You understand what could be interesting cross-sell, upsell opportunities to offer investment products, mortgage products. You have a question?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, how do these profiles, how do these 360-degree views, how do they follow you from one platform to another platform? How do they allow a mortgage broker to reach you, but also somebody outside of financial services, for example?
Very open source, it feels like.
No. So what we're doing is we're helping an individual organization empower itself with its own data. So we're not enabling organization. We're not delivering data to an organization. We're helping every organization every enterprise creates its own data. We're helping them harness the power of that data, helping them organizing it, and helping them make it productive.
Do you envision a time when we as consumers have our own data and we're somehow in the blockchain, the context of the blockchain, and we can travel with that data where we want?
It's an interesting question. You have rights to your data today under GDPR, CCPA. These are privacy regulations, California's as well as the European Union. You have rights to go to an organization and ask for, how are you using my data, and can you give it to me? And can you not use my data for sales and marketing purposes? That exists today. As to whether it resides in a blockchain in the future and you can carry it with you, it's an interesting question. I'd like to understand what the application of that. I'd rather others have some understanding of my preferences to make my experiences productive, to make customer service and engagement for me more productive in serving me. I certainly wouldn't want that data used for malicious purposes, and therein lies the balance. Therein lies regulations and the like.